Welcome to Cut the COVID Crap Part 59. My experience with the Freedom Rally. At the Freedom Rally, I met these guys. I had to make an extra episode of this because I was so positively surprised about the people that I met. It was my first Freedom Rally that I went to, and it's uh, uh, the reason for me to go to that rally is that I mean the COVID battle is that's over. That's a done deal basically. I mean, um, COVID is ever since Omicron. I thought it was no big deal anymore, and it's extremely slow. The responses. The acceptance that it's over is extremely slow, but it seems that the WHO and even Biden are sort of close to declaring the end of the pandemic. Anyway, I don't think it's a big deal anymore. What I do find a big deal is the digital currencies, the CBDCs, the central bank digital currencies. If those ones get accepted, there's no chance anymore for freedom, I think. So that is to me, that was to me a reason to go to a freedom rally, and I wanted to check it out what it's like there. Even though the rallies are getting smaller compared to the when there were more restrictions more recently introduced, and now restrictions are over, so people feel the pain less. So I guess logically fewer participants, but beautiful people out there, all walks of life, young, old, families, loners, more vocal people, more silent people. But I saw the lions there. I am extremely proud of the people that I met there. I met just some random people, but the it was clear for them that they didn't have a choice. They um, they were the people that would say over my dead body, basically, and they really knew what were what they were standing for, and uh, people lost their jobs. They chose to. It was an hard on the one hand hard choice or a tough outcome, but an easy choice. Like they'd be willing to give up their jobs. They got through divorces, lost their partners because of this. But when I asked if it was worth it, they said I had no choice. It came from the heart, and they were clearly the lions. And I'm thankful for so many lions to be there. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you should be against vaccinations. I mean, vaccination, as I always say, it's a personal choice and it's a personal risk benefit. And for some people, they may have a good reason to go for. For some people, they have a good reason to go against. It's up to yourselves. But those lines, I'm really proud of them, and I want to encourage them to to comfort them, because it's been a lonely life for them. But that's what lions are about. Uh, Lions are operating in very small groups, and one second, one second, I have to do something here. Lions are in very small groups, um, but there's plenty of lions out there. Not many, but enough. There are many sheep, plenty of sheep, and sheep like to hang out with lots of other sheep. Lions, you only need a few. Please bear that in mind. Lions, please bear that in mind. If you look out for them, there are like-minded lions around. Focus on them, stick to them, take care of each other, um, make your plans as a, as a group. Um, the sheep, don't worry about them too much. Very rarely you encounter a sheep that is actually wants to turn into a lion. And of course, talk to those. But like, try to convince any sheep to turn into a lion. It's a waste of energy. As a lion, you have no reason to do so. There's no business. Stick to your fellow lions, and and uh, be comfortable in the fact that even though you're a minority, there's more, and there's enough. And um, yeah, whether sheep get transformed to lions, yeah, I mean, even though I would like that to happen, um, is it a need? If you're unvaccinated and you're very firm in your belief, do you need to try to convince vaccinated people to get to stop vaccinating themselves? I would, if there's people, I said it in a previous version, if people are vaccinated and still want to get vaccinated more, yeah, I mean, if there's a sorry for the interruption, I need to do this again. If people want to get, if people even are thinking of trying to get vaccinated again after they've had 3 or 4 vaccinations, after they've had COVID, and they want to get vaccinated again, no problem at all. Let them do it. Either you have roughly 3 outcomes. Either it's not going to make any difference, so no big deal, or it helps them, good for them, or they're the ones that die. And just I'll make it on purpose a bit black and white. They're the ones that die. Yeah, and then more sheep die. Well, if there is a depopulation agenda, if I'm not saying there is, but like if there is one, yeah, then I'm happy that sheep die, and that lions don't die. There's plenty of sheep. Um, if you're very convinced about vaccination being bad, yeah, then the sheep will die. No problem. Then we're left with fewer sheep on Earth. I have no problem with it. If, on the other hand, you're vaccinated and you think that it's so important that every unvaccinated person should get vaccinated too, yeah, then apparently you're thinking that that unvaccinated are running a big risk, and they're the ones that die. So on whichever side of the spectrum you are, either the sheep die or the stupid people die. In in both sides of the story, you can be happy because your group will survive. So if there is a depopulation agenda, the right people will die. Okay. So don't worry about it too much. Don't worry about the other group. Don't let them divide you. Stick to your own group. Stick to the people that either in your own group or show curiosity. Still respect others. I mean, there's no reason to disrespect people. I mean, I don't agree with a lot of friends of mine. I don't agree with myself a few months ago on certain subjects. I mean, um, no reason to disrespect people. Does it mean that you have to think the same way? No, no. Um, any other takeaway? No. Stay positive and stay peaceful. That's important. And make sure if you're a lion, because again the COVID battle is over. COVID is a non-issue. Uh, it's not an issue anymore. But CBDCs, the digital currency, if that battle is lost, then I think it's the end of freedom. But I'm sure we'll talk more about it in the next few episodes. Stay strong and stay peaceful. See you next time.